all was done to sensitize this matter. I just wonder how true it is, because I actually was there with them. So I just want to join in with what Dr. Gîikaro has raised, because they are the same concern. But just add that, having seen these people, I remember walking out and saying, pesa ni kitu mbaya. Nikiwa na pesa, even if I had an extra shilling, I would have given them, those people. Those Kenyans are suffering, Waziri. Thank you.
Members, kindly allow me to allow Waziri to respond to the concerns from the three members, Walter, Gîikaro, and Kagesi.
Honorable Chair and distinguished members, thank you. I first want to agree with the honorable members who have spoken that it is also my view that we still have some work to do on the issue of IDPs, and it is unfortunate that what happened in our country in 2007, 2008 will remain for a long time to be the clearest demonstration of the ugly side of our politics, because quite a number of people, families were permanently damaged because of the events of violence during that year. First, Honorable Chair, the issue of IDPs, in my view, is a human rights issue. So, even if I said that that program ended, and according to government, we did what we thought ought to be done, the matter cannot be closed because there is no statute of limitations on fundamental rights and freedoms. It will be a live matter forever. It's about human rights. You cannot close human rights and say it's over. And therefore, what I want to assure this committee is that we will remain seized of the matter, and not just about 2007-2008 post-election violence victims, but other internally displaced persons who meet the legal criteria across our country. Honorable Chair, the unutilized funds which were returned to the government were occasioned by various reasons. Many of the people who had claimed to be IDPs could not prove that they were indeed displacement. Some of them were imposters. There were imposters in the camps. There were also imposters claiming to be integrated in their initial communities with relatives, but there was no proof of displacement. Others had presented fake documents, and yet others who claimed to be IDPs, when they were asked to come for compensation, never showed up, a significant number. So there were various reasons for these funds returning to the Treasury. SEME is not included. We do not have records that we had profiled IDPs from SEME who met the criteria and were left out, but that is something we can look into. As I said, the matter cannot be closed at any time. It is a live matter for as long as Kenya exists. It's part of our ugly history. We must move towards closure, And whenever new evidence emerges, we will deal with it. Honorable Chair, it is true also, as stated by one of the members, that a few IDPs were paid 400,000, and it is true I did not include that in my categorization, because the few cases of payment of 400,000 was cost, or those cases were justified by very peculiar circumstances which can only be explained in a case-by-case basis. But it is true, as the member stated, as the member for Seme. Honorable Chair, it is also true, from my own knowledge as a Kenyan, that there were very elaborate press reports of a Mr. Ndege who suffered huge losses, including death of almost the entire family in Naivasha, if my recollection serves me right. I'll be surprised if such a person was displaced wherever he is in this country and has not been resettled or compensated, because I read graphic details of the story of Mr. Ndege and his family. I want to assure you, Chair and members, that that is a case that I want to take it up with my officers, because it's a case which is in the public domain. Sometimes certain things that come to our knowledge should not be subjected to to the strictures of where is the proof. I remember very vividly a fellow who had been burnt, the face was burnt, every part of his body was scarred, and he claimed to have lost all his children, and I think his 2 spouses or something like that. So that is something I want to commit to take it up as a follow-up of this petition. Chair, with regard to Trans Nzoia is in Rift Valley. That's why we didn't have any statistics, because the petition was asking for IDPs in Nyanza and Western region. Otherwise, we are willing to, if there are specific issues around Trans Nzoia, we can address them as a follow-up of this interaction. Finally, Honorable Chair, I want to assure this committee that we are open to ensuring that all Kenyans get justice, and that no Kenyan is treated differently from other Kenyans for whatever reason. And therefore, we will continue getting engaged, and we want to request for the cooperation of members, the support of the committee, the support of the National Assembly as representatives of the people, to continue dealing with these things until we achieve complete justice for every person in our country and close this chapter that has scarred our nation's history. Finally, Chair, is also to agree with some of the members who have raised the issues that this space of IDPs, we are also aware as security managers that this space has been invaded by so many imposters and people who want to benefit from a process by presenting fake narratives, fake stories, and therefore we'll be careful as much as we want closure so that our people who are not qualified internally displaced persons do not use this process for unjust enrichment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, CS. Honorable members, because of time, we have another petition which Waziri will be handling, and we will request we take that minutes so that we can release you. Waziri, a few things have come out, and I want to...
On a procedural issue, Chair, unfortunately, the second petition that you're referring to doesn't seem to have come to our attention. So I beseech you, Chair, if you could clarify what that petition is, because we only had this petition. It could have been a